Dogs remind me of my dad. My dad loved dogs.
Every time I cook, I think of him. He taught me how to cook.
Pecans remind me of my grandpa. Coffee. All things I like.
I'm Melissa. I am 23 years old, and I am a nursing student at Kennesaw State University.
I'm Brantley Holland. I'm 20 years old. I'm a student down in Atlanta, and I'm studying neuroscience and chemistry.
I'm Ansley. I'm 22. I would like to not die, but I'm going to die. So here we are talking about it.
My name is Christina Pierce-Tomlin, and I'm a death advocate and consultant. Some people call me a death doula. I'm a big advocate for people contemplating death and contemplating death in a real and practical way.
Because, at the end, while you're doing it, you don't want to talk about it because you don't want to think about it happening, but in the end, it's going to happen. And so not talking about it is only going to cause more trouble.
Me and my grandpa used to talk about death a lot because we talk about everything. Like, we just have a really open relationship. But before, I guess it was less concrete. And now that it's like in his face and he like knows that it's coming, he doesn't want to talk about it.
I don't know, like even talking about it, it doesn't really, make anything better. I don't know why it's so hard. I have a hard time with it. I don't really talk about it much. I keep it closed in, but that's like my own coping mechanism. Yeah, my dad was he was like a goofy guy.
I just believe in really facing eventualities. If you know something's going to happen, you should absolutely acknowledge it and really think about it. I would very much like people to start younger so they can really think about, what do I want to do with my 40s and 50s and 60s, because I don't know when I'm going to die.
I think if I am ever in a position, when I'm in the position of I'm dying, then I would hope that I'm brave enough to look at my family and say, this is something that we need to take seriously. And while it's hard and uncomfortable, I think it coming from the person who is dying makes it a lot easier for the whole family. That's definitely something that I think should be a more socially acceptable thing to discuss.
I think it's important for people to decide what happens to them after they die, and it's not necessarily like other people's decisions.
I think that if we had made like more concrete plans sooner, that this would be less stressful for me because I'm the one picking up the slack, which is fine. I don't mind doing that for him, and I would do anything for him. But I would be able to like put forth this energy and time that I'm putting towards like tombstones, towards being with him. And so I think it would be a lot better if this stuff was already like solidified.
There's just so much that comes with like death that's not even an emotional thing. All of the business aspects of what you have to do when someone dies, it's like really terrible. And so like on top of emotional stuff, you have to deal with like everything else. It just changes basically your whole life, especially when you lose a parent like out of the blue. It was in February of 2015. Yeah, that's when he died. And she said he had like a massive heart attack on his way to work. And like that morning, my sisters came home and it was just really hard. Make the most of them. We are proud of you. Love you always, Dad. Mm-hmm. So that it really like affected how I'm gonna deal with myself when I die. And I don't really see things the same way.
It was a different, I think when someone is dying, they don't, they have a moment of death, like their time of death. But I think in a bigger way, they die for that. Especially when you're going through, like aging or in his case, sickness, cancer. You know, when I think back of like when my father died, I think of the day that he died, but I also think of a few weeks before that, when the last time I saw my father, as like the man I knew. But, you know, I mean, the world doesn't stop spinning when someone dies, but it feels like it should sometimes.
The hardest part isn't that I'm not gonna have him with me. It's just that I wish that he had more time, because like he wants more time. He wants to do everything. Like he never wants to stop like painting and like picking up new skills and learning new things and going new places and meeting new people. Like the hardest part of this for him is he's just like, I love this. This is all I know and I want to do this forever, and like I want that for him more than I want him to be here with me.